Through 10 races in the 2025 DeWalt Cup Series season, we've seen 9 different winners in 7 different teams find victory lane. Today, the 42 drivers are ready to take on the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire for the running of the Sylvania 300. This racetrack, just over 1 mile in length, is a very technical track and will prove to be a big test of driver ability throughout the 60 laps we'll run today. All the action is coming up next on JRTV. Welcome everyone to New England at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm Joe Rakowski. Trey Barno is off this week. We'll look to have him back next week for Vermont. But the show will go on here today, and here on JRTV we'll bring you all 60 laps of action from the Sylvania 300, the 11th race of the 2025 DeWalt Cup Series season. It's sure to be a fun one as well. Kind of a similar track in some ways. Some attributes are similar to a race we had earlier this season at Phoenix. It's 1 mile in length. Very flat corners, low banking, but we're going to see some high straightaway speeds, some pretty long straightaways here in New Hampshire. Basically 2 drag strips leading down to 180-degree corners on either end of the racetrack. It's a fun one, it's a unique track, and we're going to see some great action here for the second of the New England races of 3 in a row we'll see this season, and we'll see if we can continue this trend of parity that we've seen so far. We've only had 1 repeat winner through 10 races. That was Bryce Egan, who won at Vegas, then backed up a few races later at Richmond. But other than that, we've seen different winners every other race, and the team parity has also been pretty insane. Half of the teams have gone to victory lane in the first 10 races of the season. So 7 teams have won, and in fact only 3 teams have had multiple wins so far this season. Southern Cross Racing got with Jerry Chen at Texas, and then at Kansas, Gabe Willard also won. At Texas World and Pensacola, back-to-back races, Galway Automotive won, and then as we mentioned, Bryce Egan is Vision Motorsports' only winner so far this season as he got wins at Vegas and Richmond. Otherwise, we've seen different teams win every other race, so it'll be interesting to see, can that continue here today? Will the different driver winner continue today as well? If we're going to keep all those streaks alive, we could see, Justin Zaidel for pole for EKH Enterprises win, Jordan Stout for Ace Motorsports starting in 4th, or maybe even someone like Lathan Strickland, Drew Martinelli for Fos Autosport starting back there in 7th place and in 10th place. So there's a lot of options for new winners and new team winners with how qualifying played out just a few days ago here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we'll just have to see how it's all going to work out. Let's quickly talk about the point standings and how they've filtered out, as we've had a few crazy races as of late. Kansas, Boston, we saw at Kansas the points leader blow up, and then the race leader have a tire issue, and then at Boston we saw some fuel mileage gambles run dry for a lot of the front runners late, and led to Eli Bright getting that fuel mileage victory and Mean Motorsports' first victory of the season. Jerry Chen was set to win that race until he had to pit for fuel. He still holds the points lead though, but it's only by 14 points. It could have been a lot more if he was able to make it. And here today, continuing a trend of this season, he starts all the way back in 32nd place. He'll have work to do at a track where it's notoriously hard to pass. The question is, can the 36 car do it? We know that car is stout throughout the race, and if someone's going to move their way through the field, it could be that number 36 car. Right by him in points is Brian Rodriguez, who has been quiet but consistent since his victory in the Daytona 500. He only has 3 top 5s, only 4 top 10s, but if he's not finishing inside the top 10, normally just outside of the top 10. Currently has him second in the point standings, average finish of 12.7, and Rodriguez could be a factor here today because he starts in 9th place on the inside lane for the initial start. Laura Chung, Nathan Stapleton, the teammates from Otter Island Motorsports, are 3rd and 4th in points and moving up nicely. Obviously, Stapleton's had a few bad races, but is still out there fighting for his first win of the season, fighting for that points lead, and they both have good starts today. Stapleton starts 3rd, Laura Chung starts in 5th, and then rounding out the top 5 in points is Jack Haas. Not the best of starts here today. He'll be starting back mid-pack on the outside, but he's had a very solid stretch of races, very solid season so far. Has that victory at Pensacola, and he's just been running consistent enough to keep himself up in that chase position, up inside the top 10 in points. He's moved up inside the top 5 in points now, and is only 20 points back of the points leader. Rounding out the top 10 in points, Bryce Egan, Max Davis, the 2 teammates from Vision Motorsports. Riley Spridge, who's moved up nicely. Gabe Willard dropped, and Eli Bright gained 5 spots after his win at Boston to move up inside the top 10 in points. He holds that position by not all that much over Philip Torres. Torres is still there, close enough, just 8 points back to try and mount a charge to get up inside the top 10 in the point standings. And here today, we're seeing at the starting grid a lot of the same teams and a lot of their team cars starting well. We mentioned Otter Island Motorsports. They're a threat anywhere we go, obviously, with Benny Watson as the team owner. Stapleton and Lord Chung, we mentioned, both start inside the top 5 on the inside, but their third car, Philip Torres, starts in 11th also on the inside. So they have all 3 cars in play for the start of this one. Tukey Toussaint's team, Toussaint Racing, starts pretty well today. Brian Rodriguez in 9th, Keegan Thompson in 12th, Chris Jericho a little bit further back in 20th, but all 3 of their cars starting inside the top 20. Same could be said for Fos Autosport. Strickland in 7th, Martinelli in 10th, and then Jacob Miller back in 17th. So a lot of the same teams. Vision Motorsports, Bryce Egan starts in 6th, Matt Tuck starts in 14th. EKH Enterprises has pole with Zidell, has 8th with Roberto Crown Jr., and 13th with Riley Spiritube. So it's a lot of the same teams here today at New Hampshire, which makes sense. This is the racetrack where certain aspects of ratings really, really matter. And we're seeing that the teams that have those aspects kind of figured out, they're at the forefront here in qualifying. The question is, how will the race pace be? And now let's quickly go over the top 5 stars before we get going. Justin Zidell for EKH Enterprises has become the first driver this season to win multiple poles. He is starting number 1 here today at New Hampshire and looking to bring Evan Hunter one of those home track wins. Evan Hunter from New England, from Vermont, track we'll be going to next week, but New Hampshire just next door pretty much, and we'll see if Zidell can bring it home from pole position just like Eli Bright did last week. Zachary DeLello starts in 2nd, one of the best qualifiers this season. Still has not yet won this season. Is still kind of struggling a little bit in points, down 19th in the point standings, even with that amazing average starting position. So we'll have to see if DeLello can keep it up at the front, gain some positions and points after today. Stapleton trying to turn around what has been a few bad races. Obviously at Kansas blew up while running inside the top 5, and then last race at Boston got caught up in the early accident and never could recover from that. Stapleton will look to rebound with a nice starting spot here today, and what's probably going to be a very fast race car. Jordan Stout, Ace Motorsports, haven't talked about much about them at all. Stout is the highest of them in points, but he's down 22nd in the points. He's looking for something good, trying to use that track position here today. And Laura Chung rounds at the top 5. The last mile track we were at, she won at Phoenix, and she dominated the second half of that one after pit strategy. So 3rd in points, she could possibly be the next driver to join Bryce Egan with multiple wins this season. And for Laura Chung, all 4 of her top 10s are also top 5s. So if she's running at the front, she normally finishes way up at the front. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Before we get the guys rolling, the JRTV producers did still talk to Trey after qualifying to see who he wanted to pick to win, and so we got his pick, and I obviously got to go first. My driver finished lower again at Boston, but we're still very, very close in terms of the season averages. But for my pick here today, I'm taking a little bit of a low-hanging fruit, but maybe as of late with his luck, it might not be all that low-hanging. I'm taking Nathan Stapleton starting in 3rd place. I think today is the day he finally turns around what has been a bad luck stretch, and he finally gets that first victory of the season 11 races in. I mean, he's come close a few times, and at tracks similar to this, like Phoenix and like Richmond, he's run very, very well. In fact, at Richmond, he had a shot to win late, got passed by Bryce Egan with 2 to go. So I think Stapleton can get it done today from that 3rd place start, and Trey is not going that much further back. He is taking number 91 of Lathan Strickland, who starts in 7th place, and for Fos Autosport, trying to keep that different team and driver streak alive in terms of winners here this season. He'll look to become the 10th different winner, 11 races, and the 8th different team to win here today at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So there are our picks to win, and we'll have to see which of ours goes higher. We're still pretty close in season averages, so anything can happen here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As the Gatorade starting grid is still rolling along the left side of the screen, and Zidell and DeLello will lead us to the green flag for the 11th race of the season here from New Hampshire. And obviously Zidell, first repeat pole winner through 11 races this season. DeLello, one of the best qualifiers so far this season. Jordan Stout, the underdog story, up in 4th place, looking to win for Ace Motorsports, a team and a driver that have kind of struggled so far this season. And obviously you can't count out the Otter Island cars of Stapleton, Lord Chung, and even Philip Torres just a few rows behind them. The DeWalt track facts here today. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, obviously a unique track, 60-lap race, 35 to 40 laps is the field window, so I have to see how that plays out. Do we get any cautions to change that? And no banking on the straights, only banking in the corners. It's very, very minimal for these drivers to hold their cars. So here we go, the 11th race of the DeWalt Cup Series 2025 season about to get underway. There's the green flag waving, and Zidell will take the green flag. We're underway from New Hampshire. Side by side to turns 3 and 4. Good start for Stapleton, but Zidell not giving in on the top side. Here they come off the corner, still side by side off of 4. And Stapleton gets the gap, gets the advantage. He'll lead the first lap from third place starting grid. Lord Chung was looking low on teammate Stapleton as Zidell really misses through turns 1 and 2, goes way wide, nearly into the wall. Jack Haas, same story further back as Honorline Motorsports gets away to first and second. Lord Chung now looking for a pass on Stapleton to turns 3 and 4. And here comes Lathan Strickland up to third for Full Autosport. And Brian Rodriguez moving low fast as well. Off the corner, side by side for the teammates. Chung down low, Stapleton up top. I think these two know that they could be the biggest competition each other has here today. Honorline Motorsports has been strong this season. Surprisingly, though, only one win, and it came at Phoenix with Lord Chung. With how strong they've run this season, you'd think they have multiple wins. They'd be stacking them up. They have not yet been able to do that. 3 wide further back. Alex Savatali got really loose back there. Tegan Fox last in points is in the middle. Martinelli and Miller, 2 teammates from Full Autosport on either side. Miller's going to get the spot. Martinelli's trying to use the top side to his advantage and does a great job rolling the top. It's back up to the front. Rodriguez up to second, getting by Stapleton. Philip Torres, the third Otter Island car, up to third. Here comes Bryce Egan. Riley Spurgeon down low. Matt Tuck in the middle of 3 wide and nearly had contact with Thompson off the corner. Zidell still slipping back. Oh, they're wrecking at the back. Big crash. Anthony Hernandez, one of them involved in the 35. Maybe Noah Brady and Joe Hendry as well. Kind of a small crash, but the caution will come out on lap number 4. Chung will get back in front. Rodriguez second. Philip Torres third. Side by side for fourth. Stapleton just gets Bryce Egan with Spurley 2 back there as well. Matt Tuck up inside the top 10 now. And now everyone gets a little bit of a breather here. And everyone gets to regroup, get back single file. And this was especially good for a driver like Zidell or DeLello. You know, Justin had fallen all the way down to 10th. DeLello down to 13th. They both started on the front row. So they can kind of regroup, catch their breath, and try and get back going forward. Just, you know, you lose momentum here, hard to get it back at points. So we'll have to see Lord Chung. It's been an Honorline Motorsports day so far as they've led the first 4 laps. They're going to make it 5 as they cross the stripe. And Lord Chung looking to win her second 1-mile race of the season. She'll be staying out. They think it's too early, and I agree with them. Don't want to give it the track position quite yet. And no one's budging. Maybe some of the damaged cars at the back will, but otherwise, we are going to have a very lonely pit road. Bruno Giacomo is damaged. He'll be come down the 05. Noah Brady will as well. So Anthony Hernandez was the one spinning that we saw the most. He has rear damage, but he is staying out. They think it'll be fine, that 35 car. That's a tough break for him, who had been moving up nicely in points. He's just outside the top 25, so he needed a good run here today to move himself up into wildcard contention. Might not be the case as Giacomo with a lot of damage to the 05. They'll try and repair it. We'll see if they can. Noah Brady, quick fix. He'll leave. So first caution of the day out early on. Crash towards the back of the field brings it out. We'll go check out what happened between Giacomo, Noah Brady, and Anthony Hernandez off turn 2. Kind of a crazy set of circumstances here. Tim Garrett goes really wide in the 69, and Jerry Chen forcing it to the inside of Anthony Hernandez makes it 4 wide. Gary and Hernandez get together. Jerry Chen basically has the 35 off his nose, spins him. Cam Wright Jr. and Jerry Chen do a great job saving their cars. Hernandez comes off the wall, clips Drew Webb, gets Giacomo the worst. Noah Brady with nowhere to go, he gets hit. Joe Hendry gets hit. Cam Wright Jr. still trying to save his car. Great job by Mathis Wells, Johnny Cox, Angel Gutierrez missing the crash. And with all that went on there, we're lucky. Only about 3 or 4 cars got major damage in that. That's the first caution flag. We'll go take a look one more time at full speed. One more view through turns 1 and 2. Tim Garrett the track. Chen and Hernandez make contact. Great save to the inside. Great job on the outside by Gutierrez. A few cars with nowhere to go get involved, but a very minor accident to bring out the first caution flag of the day in the Sylvania 300 here at New Hampshire. Lord Chung back in front. Going to have Brian Rodriguez, Phil Torres right under bumper for the first restart of the day from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Back here on JRTV, ready for the first restart. Will come on lap number 9 with Lord Chung, the one who's led all but the first lap of the race. From 5th place starting grid, she is the race leader. All 42 cars are still left in it. With Giacomo at the back, they've taken the hood off that car. Noah Brady with some damage in the 51, they've repaired it as best they can. They were the only two that pitted, remember. Then we know Joe Hendry's going to have some slight damage along with Anthony Hernandez. We'll see how bad it is for those two. They did not come down the pit lane. So Lord Chung leads over Brian Rodriguez, Philip Torres, Nathan Stapleton, and Bryce Egan. Then Spurgeon is 6th. Tuck is 7th, Strickland 8th, Thompson 9th, and Seidel from pole back to 10th. But he'll try and regroup here on the restart. We'll slowly crawl through the running order so everyone can see where they are for the first restart of the day. The pace car with the left-hand turn to pit road. Here we go for the restart. Back into the gas for Lord Chung. Green flag back in the air. Nice jump for Philip Torres and Stapleton both. They're hounding on Rodriguez into turn 1. Can they make a move? Rodriguez can make a move on Chung. Maybe a bump up the track. 3 wide for the lead off turn 2. Philip Torres to the inside. Rodriguez to the middle. They're still 3 wide up the back straightaway. Is Torres going to send it to the inside? You betcha he is. Here he goes. Still 3 wide. And Stapleton trying to join in to make it a 4-car race for the lead. Oh, this is good stuff off 4. Oh, Torres and Rodriguez rubbing off each other. They're leaning on each other. Chung nearly clear on the top side of turn 1, but not clear. They're still 3 wide. Torres shoving up. Rodriguez doesn't have much room in the middle. Lord Chung not much room up top. They make it off turn 2, but Rodriguez and Torres are still side by side at the back straightaway. And now they're 3 wide behind them. Matt Tuck to the inside. Bryce Egan. Watch those two. They have not had the best of seasons together. Multiple incidents between those two. Rodriguez going to get to lead this lap in the 62. Philip Torres to the inside of the 77, still fighting. And Matt Tuck and Bryce Egan and all the others, they cleared that 3 wide. Up at the front, Torres is now clear of Rodriguez. Chung is going to get clear, or try to get clear in second place. Seidel trying to come back. He got a little sideways off the corner there. Matt Tuck trying to defend off Riley Spurridge with that 28 looking low. That's for 4th place. Remember, Matt Tuck has not yet led a lap this season. That's something big to imagine after 10 complete races. The number 11 car has not yet led a lap, but it's the true statement. He's up inside the top 5 with Riley Spurridge just on his bumper. Lord Chung wants to lead back from teammate Philip Torres, not letting him get away. Rodriguez in the way of Matt Tuck maybe for 3rd place. Seidel with a nice restart. He's regrouped. He's up to 9th. Oh, caution's out. Again off turn 2. Oh, it's a bigger crash this time. It looks like 2 Crispy Fried Race Adventure cars and Williams Seaman for Meme Motorsports involved. What a terrible stretch of races it's been for Seaman. Caution flag out again. This time on lap 13. Philip Torres with the lead over teammate Lord Chung. Now the question is, what do they think with pit stops? They're still outside the field window by roughly 8 to 10 laps. Oh, Drew Webb also involved in the 45 car. Lots of damage. Not been his season. Tim Gary may be involved in the 69 as well. Oh man, yeah, that's going to take about 4 cars out there. Are we going to have split strategy? It looks like Philip Torres is thinking about coming in, but the others aren't. Philip Torres is going to give it the lead to come into pit road. How about this strategy? Staying out. Lord Chung, Brian Rodriguez, Matt Tuck. Here comes Spurley Tube in. Bryce Egan in. Not all that many are coming down pit road. We'll see what Torres does. So far, only 3 cars have made the move to pit road. We're waiting for the second half of the field, who are probably trying to get themselves collected. 2 tires for everyone that pitted. 2 tires. Gabe Willard's going to come in the 27 as well. Jerry Chen, his teammate, is coming in. So was Cam Wright Jr. Drew Webb's going to be out of the race with his damage, and it's probably going to be 2 tires for these guys as well. Oh, Gabe Willard's taking 4. Why not? Already at the back of the field, take those 4 tires. That's what Jerry Chen's doing as well. So the Southern Cross Racing cars, Cam Wright Jr. took 2. Southern Cross Racing cars are taking 4. So we have some split strategy. Not a lot of cars pitted, but we'll have to see how this plays out for them. If we go green, they'll be able to stay out longer, trap guys a lap down in case a caution comes out in the middle of pit cycles. That's a big if we go green, though. So it'll be fun to watch throughout the rest of this race. But Torres gave it the lead. It's going to be his teammate, Lord Chung, back to the lead. We'll go check out what happened. Caution flag out for the second time early on here in the Sylvania 300 at New Hampshire. I had mentioned this has been a terrible stretch of races for William Seaman, and most of it through no fault of his own. And right here, just another bad scenario. He gets too high into Ludovic Charette, tries to come down off of her, and Levi Schoens and Eli Bright are right there sending it to the inside. They were basically 4 wide. Seaman gets spun up. He's going to hit this outside wall hard, just like we saw with Hernandez. He'll come back off the wall just like Anthony. A lot of cars are splitting. Look at Jerry Chen, the points leader. Just got a little tap there, but then Johnny Cox nowhere to go. He clobbers Seaman. Joe Hendry nowhere to go. He clobbers his teammate. And then watch here up in front of that. Tim Gary in the 69 has Cam Wright Jr. to his outside, and Cam Wright just turns Tim Gary into the outside wall up the straightaway, hits hard, and then right down to Drew Webb with nowhere to go, and that's what takes the 45 out, gives the 69 his damage. Watch Angel Gutierrez for the second time is going to narrowly avoid a crash to the back of the field. Look at this. Woo! Just got by. And then even back here, guys that just missed that one, here comes Giacomo, here comes Noah Brady. That was close for those two as well, but a pretty major incident off of turn number 2, and it's going to take a few more cars out of this race. One more view. Seaman and Charette make some contact. Jones and Eli Bright to the inside, and a bad scenario for William Seaman. He gets hit pretty hard there. And then further up the road, Tim Gary, Cam Wright Jr. make contact. Gary gets hit hard by Drew Webb. That's something we didn't catch under the slow-mo replay. Drew Webb's trying to get back going. Here comes Joe Hendry. So if those guys weren't already done, they are now. Pretty heavy contact there. Well, there's a mix of strategy. We've seen some guys come down pit road, take 2 tires. Some came down, took 4, while most of the field stayed out. Laura Chung was second. She'll now lead us back to the restart after pit stops. Coming back for the restart here at New Hampshire will be on lap number 17. Laura Chung still the leader. She's led most of the laps so far. A few cars to the garage and done. Johnny Cox, William Seaman, Joe Hendry, and Drew Webb. 38 cars still left running, and a whole bunch of pit strategy unfolding from this one. So most of the field stayed out. We had, that came down pit road, back here, the 18 car did. We know that for sure. We know the 28 did. We know the 77 did. Luckily for them, with how it played out, there were cars still getting caught up. They were able to get going. So Torres, the highest of the guy on 2 tires, he'll restart 21st. Spurtube in 24th is also on 2. Bryce Egan also on 2 in 29th. Then 4 tires for the teammates out of Southern Cross Racing. Gabe Willard is in 36th. Cam Wright Jr. in 2 tires in 37th. Jerry Chen, the points leader, in 38th. Green flag back in the air. Laura Chung with a nice jump. Matt Tuck spins the tires from 3rd place. Allows the front 2 to get a gap. It's Laura Chung, Brian Rodriguez. Matt Tuck, Lathan Strickland, and Zidell now the top 5. Big move back there for Jacob Miller, basically rooting Crown Jr. up the racetrack. 95 gets a spot on the restart. Let's see how good those 4 tires do at the back. How good do the 2 tires do in the middle of the pack? And what's the strategy going to be if it stays green throughout a pit cycle? Here comes Zidell going for 4th on Lathan Strickland. At the front, Rodriguez hang in touch with Laura Chung, with Matt Tuck there in 3rd, waiting to pounce if those front 2 start battling. Strickland way up the track. There goes Zidell. Rodriguez looking for the lead off turn 2. Behind them, Mathis Wells getting up out of the groove in the 39. Here's the battle for the lead. Rodriguez there and pressuring on Laura Chung. Basically all over the bumper. Great corner exit for Rodriguez. Gets right to the bumper of Laura Chung down the front straightaway, nearing turn 1. He's right there. Look at Laura Chung go up the track a little bit. Way up the track. Here comes Rodriguez. And here comes Matt Tuck to try and steal them both. He doesn't know where to go, Matt Tuck. Rodriguez and Chung into turns 3 and 4. Rodriguez trying to send it to the bottom. Laura Chung clears them off for now. Great job by Laura through the outside, but Rodriguez not done through the middle of 3 and 4. What a great corner for the 62. I think that's going to get him the lead into turn 1 right here. What a corner for Rodriguez. Matt Tuck going to try and go with them. So Rodriguez to the lead on lap number 20. Getting by Laura Chung. Matt Tuck for 2nd place. Zidell is up to 4th. Watching these front 3 in a big battle. Behind him, Nathan Stapleton under fire from Jacob Miller, who's coming through the field nicely. Martinelli is teaming right behind him. Brian Rodriguez going to lead another lap in the 62. Can Matt Tuck stay inside of Laura Chung? I think he's just down there to turn 1. So he'll go side by side with Laura. He'll get that spot. Now he's trying to lead his first lap of the season. He's gaining on Brian Rodriguez at the back straightaway. He's saying, come here, man. I need to lead a lap. You can't just keep not leading laps in these races. I need to get one. He wants a win, too. It's been a bad season for Matt Tuck by his standards. But Rodriguez pulls a gap through 3 and 4. His car's really getting through 3 and 4 so well. He's able to just get to the bottom and nail the gas. He's not as good in 1 and 2, but he's still good enough. That's why he's leading this race. Single file for most of the field. Philip Torres still the highest guy on tires. He's up to 17th. So he's gained a few spots, but once again, he came in from the lead. So the question is, will this play out in a good way for him? I think he's going to really hope that this thing stays green. We get to the green flag pit stops, and then he can divert his strategy from there. Otherwise, he's just going to have to come in with them. He'll take 4 tires just like everyone else. It won't be good for him if a caution comes out and everyone can make it from here. We think that, at least. Still these 3. 1, 2, 3. Torres up to 16th now. Riley Spiritu up to 20th. Bryce Egan up to 24th. Gabe Wheeler, Jerry Chen are moving up on 4 tires. They're up to 28th and 29th, so about a net gain of 10 spots for them so far. Remember, they were back there anyways, so they really didn't lose anything. They came down, they got the 4 tires, and even if they don't diverge their strategy, if we stay green here and guys start pitting, even if they pit with them, they've still already gained and they're still gaining spots. So good call for the Southern Cross Racing guys to start making moves up through the field. Behind them, here's a good battle. This is 6th and 7th. Martinelli is looking to the inside of Nathan Stipton. Nathan Strickland just behind them. So how about Full Auto Sport here today? All 3 of their cars up inside the top 10. Miller in 5th. Martinelli's going to be 6th, and Nathan Strickland right behind them in 8th. So good day for Octavian Speeding's team, Full Auto Sport. And here comes Strickland for a spot on Nathan Stipton as well. For the lead, Matt Tuck. Inside of Rodriguez, can he get the grip? Stipton really back there. He slid up through the corner. He's going to lose multiple spots. Here comes Matt Tuck, trying to lead his first lap of the 2025 DeWalt Cup Series season. Gets through the bottom of 3 and 4. Rodriguez going to try and drag race him, but Matt Tuck will lead for the first time this season. So there's a bonus point that he's been missing, and Matt Tuck now is that 11 car out in the wind for the first time this season. Lord Chung through to 2nd as well. These 3 have been the best cars so far today. The question is the strategy on their side? Torres still making moves inside of Levi Shones. That is for 15th. Poor Chung is all over Matt Tuck. Doesn't want him to lead too many laps here today. Laura's saying, I can still lead laps. I'm still good enough to do that. She's all over the back bumper Matt Tuck, pressuring him into turn 1 here. It's been a great race between these 3 here today. They've been strong. The inside for Lord Chung off turn 2, up the back straightaway, side by side. Chung back to the inside. Those 4 tires are really working. They've caught up to Bryce Egan. Jerry Chen's up to 24th. Gabe Wheeler 25th. They're on the bumper of Egan for 23rd and others in front. So they are still gaining spots. Those 4 tires are working. The 2 tires are working for Torres and Spiritu as well. Torres is up to 15th, going for 14th. Spiritu's up to 18th. But those 4 tires have really gained a lot of positions. They're up like 15 spots now. Lord Chung back through on Matt Tuck. Tuck's going to try and keep 2nd with a great run off the top of turn 2, but Egan, or excuse me, I don't know where I got Bryce Egan from. That's Brian Rodriguez in the 62 is going to send it to the bottom to try and get that 2nd spot. Then you have Zidell, Miller, Martinelli, and Strickland. So the Full Auto Sport cars are 5th, 6th, and 7th. Octavian Speedings has to love seeing that. They have Crown Jr. in 8th. Stipton back to 9th. It's kind of been a struggling day for him. Jordan Stout still hanging tough inside the top 10. Then you have Keegan Thompson right behind him. Jack Haas and Chris Jericho are going side by side. That's for 12th. 12th and 13th. Then you have DeLello. Philip Torres now getting passed actually by Levi Schoen, so his 2 tires are starting to fade off. Spiritu still gaining though, up to 17th. Max Davis, probably the highest he's been today. Eli Bright's going to start the pit cycle. Is this an issue on the 88 car, or is he just really undercutting this? I mean, they're in the window. I just don't think anyone would be pitting on lap 30. I have to think that this is an issue. Maybe they caught it at a good time. But if they're only going to take tires, this is really good for them. They can at least try and, do an undercut here. And so if they, right now it's just been a normal 4-tire pit stop. So here come the leaders around. They will lap Eli Bright. But if we get to this cycle and everyone has to pit, which, they're keeping the 88. So it must be something more mechanical on the 88 car. Tough break for Eli Bright. He was up inside the top 20. Have been doing a pretty decent job. And unfortunately, he's out of the running at the moment. Here comes Jerry Chen. Those 4 tires. See the grip that he has on the inside, how he can turn his car. That's 21st, and then 20th is Ludovic Charette just in front. So Jerry Chen moving. Teammate Gabe Willard right behind him. Spiritu passing Levi Shones. Philip Torres got back by Shones. Good day for Galway Automotive, even though they're not inside the top 10. They're still running 14th. And then Jack Haas right in front in 13th. Levi Shones in 17th. So pretty decent day for them. Eli Bright off pit road, but he has lost a lot of time. But he is on fresher tires, so he will get some time back. In fact, he has to be careful not to wreck, guys. He doesn't want a caution to come out and trap himself. You can see right there what the tires mean, so got to be a wake-up call for these teams to say, we're going to have to pit soon. I wanted to mention before that, Jordan Stout got moved out of the groove, or maybe just missed the groove in a battle with Keegan Thompson. He lost that spot. He's going to lose the spot to Chris Jericho further back as well. But look at the tires for Eli Bright, what they're doing for him out there. So we'll try and make up the ground he lost because of the mechanical issue with these tires before these guys come down pre-road. There's that battle we were mentioning. Jericho up to 11th by Jordan Stout. There's Philip Torres, another spot, get by Zachary DeLello. Richard's going to try and do the same. And here comes Jerry Chen and Gabe Lillard. Chen up to the top 20 now for the first time today. Eli Bright has caught the front three. It's see right there. Jacob Miller loses 5th to teammates Martinelli and Lathan Strickland. Crown Jr. going to try and also pass Jacob Miller. Zidell still hanging tough in 4th place. Good run for him. So far, one of his better races of the season. I hope it can continue like that for Zidell and E-Cage Enterprises. Eli Bright in the fresh tires trying to get one of his 2 laps back. I do believe, yeah, he's 2 laps down. So at least he's not 3 down. So we know he'll at least get 1 back here. And then when these guys have to pit, which is coming up, it's around the corner. I mean, it's going to start within the next 3 to 5, 7 laps. And then that's when we'll see what the 2 tires and 4 tires guys do, because we know that they're only going to be about probably 8 to 10 laps short. The question is, if you took 4 tires on that pit stop like Jerry Chen and Gabe Lillard, do you just go 2 on this next one? Do you go 2 tires and say, you know what, we'll try and gain track position that way, because they're not all that far back in the leader. Jerry Chen is only 6 seconds off in 18th place. Obviously, the guys that took 2, I think they have to take 4. Eli Bright right here is going to get 1 of his 2 laps back, and Laura Chung, I think, is actually pitting. So here we go. Laura Chung going to surrender the lead to pit. So will Matt Tuck. Rodriguez will stay out. So here we go. Pit stops are starting for the front runners. They're in. I think that's Crown Jr., Keegan Thompson, Max Davis also in. So Laura Chung, Matt Tuck are not letting anyone undercut them. They're coming in immediately. The only problem with that, the only issue is that if we get a caution flag, they could get trapped a lap down. Well, they'll get a wave around, but they'll still have to be behind all these guys. So what does Rodriguez do in the 62? Does he come down pit road? It looks like he will. Zidell, remember, he was on pole, didn't get to lead a lap today. He'll stay out to try and get a lap lead. Dipton going to stay out. So will Jericho and a whole bunch, but a lot of the field coming in now. But this is once again going to be a slow process because that caution flag came out and we have guys on differing strategies. This is going to be a slow process in terms of seeing everyone come down the pit lane. So Zidell now leads this race. How are the pit stops going for drivers like Matt Tuck and Laura Chung? Laura Chung does get out in front of Matt Tuck. Keegan Thompson, Crown Jr. as well. And now as they cross, oh, we got some contact. There's Eli Bright. There's Rodriguez. And then, here we go. So we've cycled back around to the guys that pitted. 2 tires for Torres and Spurley are now 1-2. They can go a decent bit further. They can go probably about 10 more laps or so. Jerry Chen on 4 tires. Levi Schoens is not yet pitted. We'll have to do that at some point soon, but he's in a weird scenario. Guys are coming off pit road and whatnot, and he's still staying out there. So he's going the long way of this fuel window. Oh, he's trying to pit. Tim Garrett's to the inside. That was close. That was so close. That was very scary. There's Laura Chung, so she's a lap down, but on tires. Here she comes up through these guys now. This is going to be a mess. We'll have to wait for everything to cycle through still. Laura Chung, once again, that's not for position. Here we go. This is actually for the lead. Philip Torres and Riley Spurgeon were on 2 tires. They pitted once again. It was around lap 12-13. So they can go about 10 more laps before they have to make a move to pit road. Jerry Chen's on 4 tires just behind them. There's only 7. It's going to be 6 cars on the lead lap now. Those are the 6 cars that came down pit road under the second caution flag of the day. And Riley Spurgeon is going to try and get his first lap lead of the day as he gets by Philip Torres off turn 2. Jerry Chen, remember, started back in 32nd, took 4 tires rather than the 2 tires. So as they've pitted, Laura Chung is the highest of the guys that have made a green flag pit stop. Matt Tuck is behind her. Then Rodriguez, then Martinelli, Lathan Strickland, Justin Zidell, Roberto Crown Jr., Jacob Miller, Keegan Thompson, Nathan Stapleton, Chris Jericho, Jack Haas, Zachary DeLello. There's Chung, highest driver that has made a green flag pit stop. Matt Tuck is a little bit further back. He's kind of getting held up by Bryce Egan right now in the 18. It's been a bad stretch to try and get through lap traffic for Matt Tuck. Lord Tuck's done a great job at it. Tuck has not been able. And Tuck's now into the clutches of Brian Rodriguez in the 62. That's third. Martinelli's fourth of the guys that have pitted under green, remember. We don't know where those guys that, have already pitted under yellow, where they're going to cycle out. Because I think if you're Chen and Willard, you're thinking about taking 2 tires here and trying to hold that distance. But Laura Chung is so fast, she's about to unlap herself. So I don't know if this is going to work out. Or it dives it low. There she goes. She's going to get a lap back off of Spurgeon and Chen. So Laura Chung is back on the lead lap. That's big in case a caution flag comes out. She can at least pit with them or cycle out around them. And obviously, once again, she's not going to be losing time now to Matt Tuck. She's actually going to be gaining a lot of time because she's in clear racetrack. Matt Tuck is still back there in traffic with Brian Rodriguez. I thought Chen was going to be passing for the lead there, but he messed up turns 1 and 2, went high. There's actually a battle for position back there between Keegan Thompson and Crown Jr. Remember, they're off the lead lap as they run. That's going to be for a top 10 spot when it all cycles back through. Should be about 7th or so. And you have Zidell and Stapleton just behind that group. In fact, Stapleton looking for a pass on Justin Zidell into turn 1. Chris Jericho back there is in 17th, with Max Davis right behind him, then Zachary DeLello and his teammate Jack Haas. Look at Stapleton. He got a great run. He's actually looking outside of Thompson here. He'll sell it back to the bomb, get a good arc here, and try and maybe follow Thompson through on Crown Jr. because the 6 is looking for a pass right here still. These two have been battling pretty aggressively. Back up to the front, make sure we're not missing anything. Here we go for the lead. Jerry Chen looking to lead his first lap of the day. The points leader. Look at how far Lord Chung's gotten from Matt Tuck. He's actually getting passed right here by Brian Rodriguez. That's what should be for second place when it all cycles through. So Jerry Chen. Oh, look, they're going 3 wide around Philip Torres, who's on old tires. Oh, look at Matt Tuck. He got a little aggravated there, I think. It's not quite clear, though. He's going to have to go 3 wide still. So Jerry Chen is leading this race, but once again, he has to make a pit stop. I don't think he can make it on fuel. Rodriguez is going to be up to 2nd of the guys that pit under green. Tuck is back to 3rd of that group. Strickland is 4th of that group. Miller is 5th of that group. You have Thompson. He's moved up by Crown Jr., but Nathan Stapleton is flying. There's Spurgeon, so he's made his move to pit road. With 13 to go, Cam Wright Jr. did the lap prior. Bryce Egan also did the lap prior. So we're just waiting on Chen and Torres. And Gabe Willard. But we think Chen and Willard should have a little bit more fuel. Zidell's going 3 wide back there. We think that those 2 Southern Cross cars should have a little bit more fuel because they took 4. Jerry Chen's forces stay out there. There goes Torres in. Zidell did not make that 3 wide movement. Nathan Stapleton is going to be closing on Jacob Miller here. That should be for a top 5 spot once it's all cycled through. There's Spurley leaving. So Laura Chung, through all that, has pulled 4 seconds over Rodriguez and Matt Tuck. Jerry Chen, I hope he doesn't have to pit soon because he keeps, these guys on fresh tires, they keep going by him. No, he's going to keep staying out there. He's going to go as long as he can, try and catch a caution. But, that caution. There goes Gabe Willard in. Oh, he stacked everyone up. Zidell really had to slow up with Keegan Thompson right behind him. And look at the mess it's made. This could be the caution that Jerry Chen wants. He's the only guy out there that has not yet made a green flag pit stop. Look at this. Torres is out. And Jerry Chen, I think, is going to be pitting. I do believe with where those guys have cycled out, they may have only taken 2 tires. Look at Nathan Stapleton. He's flying. He might have the fastest car. Unfortunately, he's too far back. So with 10 to go, Jerry Chen is in. And I do believe he might just be taking 2 tires here. We'll see. I do believe that's going to be the strategy call for him. Eli Bright cycle out. I think he's back on the lead lap. He is. So yeah, Jerry Chen 2 tires in a way, but Laura Chung has been so fast getting through traffic and just so fast in general, she is back to the lead. So the 2 tires, it's going to work for Chen. It's going to get him spots, and with 10 to go, I don't know how many he's going to lose. probably might get him a top 10 here. We'll have to see. The top 10 is around Spurley. I think Spurley's also on 2 tires. So I think Jerry Chen's going to be in a better position. You can tell they're on 2 tires because Jericho just easily flew by Philip Torres. So the guys that have stayed out long, they took 2 to try and get track position. So I think in all, it's going to be a gain for Jerry Chen, obviously. But it's going to be a loss for drivers like Spurley and Philip Torres and Bryce Egan, who came in from the front of the field, gave up all that track position. They didn't get anything from it, but they were trying to do something aggressive. I think they knew they maybe didn't have the speed to win this one. So Jerry Chen cycles out in 9th place on 2 tires with Riley Spurley tube. Jericho on 4 is going to try and run them down to try and get his first top 10 of the season. Max Davis getting by Philip Torres. Remember, 77 is on 2. There's a big mess of cars back here. Remember, Egan also on 2. Gabe Willard's on 2. And then the rest of the field. Laura Chung is all by herself. There she is. 4.2 seconds up on Brian Rodriguez, Matt Tuck, and Jude Martinelli. This is a 3-way battle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Good run for Martinelli, who had a stretch of races that were kind of struggling. He's really picked it up as of late. He's moved back up inside the top 20 and in the point standings, and looks to gain even more. This is a great battle for 5th. This is Trey's pick, Nathan Strickland, my pick, Nathan Stapleton, and they are nose to tail, 5th and 6th here. Here's Chris Jericho. That's for a top 10 spot on Riley Spurley tube. Once again, he has not yet finished inside the top 10 this season. He came close last race at Boston, ran out of fuel though while leading, coming to the white flag. Jericho gets 10th from Spurley tube there. And Nathan Stapleton is passing Nathan Strickland. Moves low. That's for 5th. 6 to go at the line. Time's running out, so everyone's trying to make moves now. If Stapleton had maybe 5 more laps, I'd say he could run down that battle for 2nd place. I just think he's too far back. Oh, there goes Martinelli. That's for 3rd on Matt Tuck. Didn't have the grip, though, to make it work. Laura Chung is straightaway ahead of these guys. I said it before, I'll say it again. What a great day for Fos Autosport. Martinelli's up there battling for 3rd and 2nd. Lathan Strickland's in 6th. Jacob Miller's in 7th. That is a great day for Octavian Speeding's team. What a day it is. 5 to go for Laura Chung. Back here, battle for 9th. Chris Jericho trying to get by Jerry Chen. Ludovic Charette is moving up nicely towards the end of this one. She was basically fringe top 20 all day long. Now she's top 15 to 14th. So once again, it's not been the best of seasons for Ludovic Charette by her standards, but she is keeping herself in that chase fight near a top 10 spot. She's trying to keep herself inside the top 20 and try and get it. Max Davis trying to get by Riley Spurley tube. That's for 11th place. And Jericho on the bumper for 9th on Jerry Chen. That's going to be the furthest I think Jericho can go with 4 to go. There he goes. Dive it low. I think he should easily have this pass. His left side tires are a lot fresher than what Jerry Chen has on the car. I think this might actually be a battle for a position. Noah Brady, Tim Garrett, that's for 36th, 37th. So they're battling pretty hard. Battle for 2nd. Here's a good battle. 6th place between teammates. There's back there. The battle for 9th has not gone away. 3 to go. Miller gets by Strickland. And Jericho gets by Chen. So Jerry Chen back to 10th. He has to hold on for 3 more laps to get a top 10. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, though. Max Davis is flying on his 4 tires compared to Jerry Chen's 2 tires. Overall, it's been a very, very fun race to watch. We've seen a lot of battles. Here's a battle. 3-way battle for 2nd with 2 to go, but we've seen a lot of battling like this. We saw some for the lead. Lord Chung, just like Phoenix, though, in the second half of this race is pulled away because of her pit stop. And look at Martinelli trying to split the middle 3 wide here. Then we saw that strategy, kind of unfold. It's been a fun race for sure. But Laura Chung's team, just like Phoenix, hit the nail on the head with pit stops. And she's walking away to a race victory by 5 seconds over the battle for 2nd. Martinelli trying to get to 3rd over Brian Rodriguez with Matt Tuck there in 2nd. And Martinelli trying to get there. Look at Nathan Stapleton. If he had a few more laps, not even 5, he'd be up here trying to fight for a top 3. But the white flag is out for Laura Chung. No cars around her. She's all by herself up the back straightaway for the final time. Win number 2 on the season just around the corner. Tuck is 2nd. The battle is on for 4th, actually. Nathan Stapleton's trying to get it. Through turns 3 and 4, though, it's all Laura Chung. She'll become the 2nd driver of the season to win multiple races. She wins Phoenix. She wins New Hampshire. Laura Chung is the mile master so far this season. She wins the 11th race of the season. 2nd place to Tuck. Stapleton does get 4th. Jacob Miller got that spot off of his teammate. Jerry Chen held on to 10th ahead of the guys with 4 tires. Wow. But no one was beating Laura Chung today. She just had the car, she had the strategy, she had everything go right for her. And Laura Chung has won at Phoenix. She's won at New Hampshire. She is the mile master here in the 2025 DeWalt Cup Series season. I have to say, though, her teammate Nathan Stapleton there, if he didn't have that bad, those few bad restarts where the car kind of just didn't react well, I think Nathan Stapleton would have had a shot at his teammate, because I think he was the fastest car in the second half of this race. The unfortunate part is that he didn't have the track position to make it work. He still got a top 5, definitely a great rebound after the last few races, but could have been better if a few restarts went more his way. But overall, what a day we saw here at New Hampshire. As we mentioned, in those final few laps, we saw some great balance for the lead early on. Laura Chung kind of got away there, but then we saw some great pit strategy with the few guys that had pitted that took 2 or 4 tires, and how that was playing out throughout that long run. I mean, that was just fascinating to watch how it was all going to play out. And in the end, it was the way for Laura Chung. Stay out there under those cautions, keep the track position. It's hard to pass even with fresh tires, and Laura Chung kept that track position. She held on, and she wins here today at the Magic Mile. What a day it was for Otter Island Motorsports and Laura Chung. I mean, she wins by over 5 seconds over her nearest competitor, Matt Tuck. That's just that's insane, and that just shows that she had a very, very good car here today. We'll quickly go take a look at the finishing results. So here's a look at the top 10 finishers. We had really kind of gone through them late in the race, so quickly go through them. Laura Chung, as mentioned, dominant day. She leads 33 of the 60 laps. No one else led more than 7 here today. Chung, the dominator, wins at New Hampshire. Matt Tuck, his best race of the season so far. He gains 4 spots in points, second place result here today. Jude Martinelli, an impressive day in third place, moves him up closer towards the chase cutoff inside the top 10. Nathan Stapleton rebounding after a few bad days in fourth, and top 5 for Brian Rodriguez. Maybe it's one of his better days since his Daytona 500 victory, race number 1 of the season. Jacob Miller, one of his better maybe his best race of the season, in 6th. Lathan Strickland rounds out all 3 Foes cars inside the top 10 in 7th. Crown Jr. 8th. Chris Jericho's first top 10 of the season in 9th. And Jerry Chen, he was able to hold on for a top 10 even on 2 tires at the end. So that 36 was fast. He was just out of position, and they used a strategy to work themselves up to a top 10. He barely hangs on to the points lead because of it. Max Davis just outside the top 10 and 11th. Solid day considering where he started, back outside the top 25. Jack Haas kind of just where he was all day in 12th. Ryan Spurgeon maybe gave up a top 5 result for his strategy, but they tried something that would maybe net them a big win if it went their way, but it didn't go their way. Ludovic Sheretta top 15 along with Zachary DeLello. Zidell kind of faded there late along with Keegan Thompson. They didn't have the cars on the long run at the end. Bryce Egan, once again, just like Spurgeon, kind of the same story there. Gabe Willard, he did the best he could with his strategy, and Levi Jones with the top 20 as well. Jordan Stout, 21st. His teammate Joshua Cox right behind him. Alex Amatali, Matthew Burnett, Tegan Fox. Philip Torres really struggled there. The 2 tires did not work out for him at all. 26th place. Now remember, he was the highest guy on that strategy when pit stop started. Matt as well as Ryan Wilson, Ashford, and Belladonna. Eli Bright was able to make it on fuel from his pit stop. It was a coolant leak that they had to fix on the 88 car, and did finish on the lead lap. So he and Jack Haas continued their stretch of 100% laps completed so far this season. Anthony Hernandez trucked on. He actually keeps his 27th place in points. He does lose points to 25th, but kept himself at least close enough. 35 cars finished on the lead lap. Some damaged cars finished 1 lap down, like Gary, Brady, Diacomo. Then 4 cars out, Webb and Hendry. And then Seaman and Cox finish out the field. Now the point standings, 11 races in. And we're nearing the midway point of the regular season. Jerry Chen still the points leader, but it's now only by 3 points as Laura Chung, with her second win of the season, moves up to second in points. She's just 3 points back. Brian Rodriguez only 9 points back, is now third in points. Stipton only 13 points back, is fourth, and Jack Haas 23 points back, is still inside the top 5. 14 points back at Jack Haas is Max Davis in 6th. That's big for him because next race at Vermont is the last race before the All-Star race. If he doesn't win that one, he needs to be top 5 in points to be able to lock his way in even without a win. Davis is 14 points back. Riley Spurgeon also has no victory on the season. He's 19 points back of the top 5. So that's something to watch for. Davis and Spurgeon are close enough to try and leapfrog Jack Haas, depending on how Vermont goes next time out. Bryce Egan with 2 wins is now down to 8th in points, so just showing, he had a decent day. It was a top 20 day, still lost 2 spots in points. That just shows how competitive this season has been. Gabe Willard has fallen off of the top 8. He's still 9th, and Lathan Strickland has leapt all the way up to 10th place in points. He's up by 7 over Keegan Thompson and Eli Bright. They are tied 11th and 12th. Philip Torres, this is so close. Keegan Thompson and Eli Bright are 7 points back. Philip Torres is 8 points back. Crown Jr. is 10 back. Ludovic Charette 14 back. Burnett 15 back. Miller 19 back. Zidell 23 back. Martinelli 26 back. DeLello 28 back. That top 20 is so close. And now as they run, the 2 wildcards are Eli Bright and Levi Schoens. Now we're going based off of winners wildcards. So right now no points would get a wildcard spot. It's all wins at the moment. Eli Bright 12th in points. Levi Schoens is 21st in the point standings. Hernandez, as we mentioned, he kept 27th in points, but he's now 26 points back of Joshua Cox, who is now 25th. Also want to update, Matt Tuck moved up to 24th in points with his definitely his best result so far of the season. Definitely his best race of the season, I want to say. Now the team points, still Otter Island. They had a big gap coming in. They keep that big gap, but teams like Tucson Racing had, pretty decent days as well. Had Brian Rodriguez, Chris Jericho, and Keegan Thompson all up there. Vision Motorsports had decent days. EKH Enterprises, Galway Automotive, but Otter Island continued their stretch. 2 cars inside the top 5. I know Torres did struggle today, but Otter Island Motorsports did their job to keep their points gap over 100. And Southern Cross Racing had a bad day. They actually dropped down now into a battle with Galway Automotive and Fost Autosport. Pretty good battle. That's 5th place or so, and really, 2nd down to 7th is so close. 2nd place Tucson Racing 865 points, 7th place Fost Autosport 813, and that's a good battle there between all those teams. And look down at the second page and the teams that have struggled so far through the season. So New Hampshire was it was a good one, crazy one. We saw a good amount of lead changes, some strategy, and a whole bunch of different stuff going on. And in the end, Laura Chung was the dominant force to win the Sylvania 300, her 2nd victory of the DeWalt Cup Series season. Next time out, JRTV will be racing from Vermont. It'll be Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's a fictional racetrack, 1.5 miles in length. It's a speedway. That's going to be a fun race for sure. And then 2 weeks' time, it's the All-Star Race. Non-points, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we'll have the All-Star Open. And then the All-Star Race follows at 9 p.m. Eastern. Going to be a fun night of action there. That'll be Sunday night on JRTV 2 weeks' time. So tune in for those next 2 races. They're pretty important. Vermont will determine who are the last few drivers into the All-Star Race before we get to the Open, which will then determine who are the last 3 drivers in, and then the All-Star Race will determine who locks up a chase spot very early on in the regular season. So we'll see you guys next time out, JRTV from Vermont.